When did you get into poker? When did you first find the game of poker?
So I first played poker in 2008 when I was 18 years old, during college break actually. And one of my friends forced me to play. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but in Asian culture, gambling, which poker unfortunately falls into the category, is looked down upon, you know.
Really?
And yeah, because like, you know, people lose money gambling and all that kind of stuff. So it's very common in Asian culture for people to think you're going to lose a family fortune or house or whatever it is, you know.
Okay.
And that's the same perception that I had of poker as well in the beginning. And I was like, no, I don't want to play. You know, it's like, no, it's fun. Just come along and give it a try. And I was like, no, I don't want to gamble. I don't gamble, you know. Then you kind of like forced me and I was like, okay, fine, sure, I'll try it. And ever since the first session, I was hooked because it's a really fun game. It's very strategical and it's not gambling as you might call it.
What about the family? As you mentioned, it's sort of frowned upon, or people are worried about it. How do your family and friends? How do they take on it for you?
Exactly how you expect. They were not happy with me playing poker, you know.
Okay.
And I actually had to keep it from them for a while because. My parents were not happy about it, and eventually when I won a bunch of money, I eventually told them that, you know, hey, by the way, yeah, you know, I actually had been playing and I actually done all right, you know, I won X amount, and they're like, no way. They're like, no, it's not real, you know, no way, you know. But yeah, I guess they kind of got used to it, and finally, and they realized, you know, I'm a good kid, you know, I'm responsible, so
right.
yeah, eventually.
And do they watch you though? Like on Tritons, you just won one in Cyprus, I know, for you know, is a really good score. Are they watching, sweating, and into it, or they can't watch? They're like
no,
nervous?
not really. My mom says it's too exciting. She can't stand the pressure, the intensity. But my mom-in-law actually watches avidly, you know, and she's a big fan of poker as well. So you can see how Triton is doing, you know, great service to the industry and bringing the game to the masses, you know. And someone like my mom-in-law, who is, you know, a bit older, still finds it interesting and engaging to watch as well and follow.
Tell me the APT, how many stops are there? This again, first time I've ever been here. So far, very impressed. You know, comparing it with some of the other tours and stops, it does seem very well run, very organized, clean, nice. The trophies are insane. Hope to get my hands on one of those. Been trying some of these mixed side events, some games I don't even play. But tell me about that. The stops. How many stops do you have a year, and what locations?
So the tour is pretty sick. I think at most is had 10 to 12 stops a year. Okay. So that's a lot for a tour, right? And I think we are aiming to do something like 6 to 8, maybe a bit more, depending on how it goes and where the venues are and stuff like that. Yeah.
Give me some of the locations. Where can people find? Where can they plan to go for the APT?
So a lot of them happen in Vietnam.
Okay.
Also in Taiwan and Korea here as well, and of course the Philippines. Unfortunately, we haven't had the chance to go back for this year, but we are working on it. Yeah. Very
cool. And the APT comprises of, I mean, this one has 69 events. Was that standard, or is this a lot for the stops?
This is the new era of the APT, so yeah, it's just new pretty much.
Okay.
Taiwan had a similar amount of stops, but this has a few more. And you know, you realize the mixed games as well. So we're trying to, you know, give people a chance to try these games and, you know, realize how fun they are, and hopefully bring it to more players.
Your actual start of poker from the first time you ever played to now, could you ever imagine playing for, you know, buying in for 75, 100, 250,000 in one event? Like, when did that set in that you could play the biggest buy-in tournaments in the world? When did you believe that was actually going to happen?
Yeah, my dream in the past when I started playing poker was to have like a $7,000 bankroll to play 1-2. That was my dream, you know, and that's all I wanted at that point, you know. But as you play more, you win more, you move up, doors open, I guess, you know. And a good friend of mine, Ivan, rest in peace, who has passed away now, is actually the first one who actually got me in high stakes and told me that I should go and play and give it a shot and stuff like this. Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah. And tell me how the APT sort of player base compares to some other tours. Obviously, the APT Asia poker tour, right? So it's predominantly Asian. Is there a mix of Europeans and is there any from the United States? Really, I haven't seen much here. Is that a goal to grow to these other parts of the world? And give me like the pie chart of what % are players from Asia versus other parts of the world.
Well, I would say like 99% are people from Asia and 1% are Westerners who live in Asia, something along those lines. But we don't really have plans to expand outside Asia because you know, we are Asian born and bred, so we want to focus on, you know, the area, the region that we are comfortable in and strong in. So yeah.
But in terms, so yeah, of course the events will be run in Asia. But do you think there's an appeal? Do you think that this could be something where people, you know, for myself, I know when we spoke, super interesting to me to come. You know, I look at it as like an amazing opportunity to come check out the world. You know, go to Japan after. It's all kind of in the region, and I'm super happy to be here. Is that something that you think would make sense to sort of couple like a tour part of it or a package where people come and you guys do? Is that appealing? Do you think that people might want to do that?
For sure. So like our goal is to make the events that we run here in Asia so appealing that people from the West would want to fly down, and it's worth their time to fly down and play these events, because they're big enough, the prize pools are big enough, and it makes sense. And like you mentioned, there's a lot of tourism that's involved as well around the region, so that helps.
Tell me about the trophy, because I've always been a believer. I think back in the day, Full Tilt Poker, they used to give these shirts, right, for knockouts, which I thought was cool but crazy, because like you might, in the tournament they're sending so many shirts. I think they should have that online. It's hard to win a tournament. You get a trophy, it's fun. It doesn't matter, right? It's a $20 buy-in, a $50 buy-in, has different. And I like how the APT you guys do that. Different. There's the really elaborate trophies, and then even for the side events, there's some nice trophies, but smaller. Tell me about the makeup of the trophy, because it's impressive. It looks like you guys have put a lot of time, effort, and money into that.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. So the trophy is actually made by a Malaysian company called Raya Selangor, and they actually make Formula 1 trophies and stuff.
Wow.
And they've been around for like 100 years or something. So actually, me, myself, and the team put in a lot of effort into the trophy and designing a trophy and coming up with the concept. And the previous trophies were based off lions as well, full lions. So we maintained some heritage from that trophy, and we kind of modernized it and revamped it. And if you notice, all the gold trophies are actually made out of 24 karat gold. They're actually real 24 karat gold plated. Wow. So anything that's gold, even the small trophies, the baby lion, is also coated with real 24 karat gold.
Wow.
Yeah. So they all made with precious metal, pewter bronze, and we spent almost an irresponsible amount of money on them. I think the cost is something like 7 times more than the previous cost.
Per trophy. There's high rollers, there's a 10K US dollar buy-in, there's 5Ks, 3Ks. Explain to the audience a little bit about the structure of how you guys do the 69 events. And can you maybe break the main event, and how does it all shake out within the schedule?
So the main event, of course, is the biggest prize pool and has 4 flights. And the thing about the APT is that it was always known for a very, very good structure.
Yep.
So arguably we have one of the best structures in all of poker for a main event, because considering the buy-in, which is now at this point 1700, it has 1 hour levels on day 1. So the thing is, if you want to run a really big event, you can't have 1 hour levels all the time, because it just takes too long. Yeah. So we kind of come up with a hybrid whereby we have multiple durations or levels for different flights. So we have the 1 hour levels to maintain that heritage from the old APT, but we also have like a 45 minute level day as well, and also 30-minute levels flights as well. So you can cater to all players who have different time schedules and commitments and stuff. So there's something for everybody. So that's the main event. And along the whole series, we have high rollers that run every day, single day high rollers to cater to those who want to play a bit bigger. And these have been pretty popular since the relaunch. And the Super High Roller got 84 runners yesterday, which is very good in Asia. Yeah, and in Taiwan, we actually had 300 runners for our high roller, which was around 3,500. And this was unprecedented, and we actually ran out of tables. It would have gotten more.
Wow.
So there are alternates out the door, and yeah, hopefully we get more here, but we don't know. We'll see.
What is the capacity with the? So you have, I believe, 4 starting flights, or A, B, C, and D, or 2 even turbo, 2 turbos.
30-minute clocks. So like, not really turbo, but yeah, pretty fast. Yeah.
I want to ask about preparation for you as a player. Give me the insight. Are you a guy? Are you like cold plunge, workout in the morning? Eat, like go through your. Give me your routine, or do you just show up and play? Do you register on time? I want to know about you as a player and your methods.
So I used to be the cold plunge guy. Well, not really.
Jason Kuhn mentality, right?
Yeah, a bit of that. That you definitely need a bit of that, to operate at a high level. Yeah. So I still do like cold showers in the morning and stuff, like for when I play and stuff. I drink my green juice, make sure I get enough sleep, that kind of thing. But at this point, I think it's more about making myself feel comfortable and being ready to play instead of rushing to make it on time. So nowadays I take my time, I late reg and make sure that I'm mentally there and zoned in and ready to go before I join. Yeah.
Very cool. And I did see sort of the Poker Go Aria mentality where there is a benefit to register on time. Is that right? There's a 50%
you get some. No, this is in APT. Yes.
Okay.
So for the high rollers, if you join before and sit down when the event starts, you get 50% off your fee. Yeah. This makes sure like events start on time and incentivize people to come early, and helps to get the event ended on time as well.
Yeah. What is the actual rule on talking? Because I know in the U.S. At the World Series, let's say it's a little more strict on what you can say and can't say at the table and talk. So and in Europe it's like very lax, right? Like it's like people can talk. I think you have this, and put you on a hand and talk. But So what is it? What are the actual rules here on talk?
So you can't talk about your hand and stuff.
Okay.
But in terms of language, because we have so many languages in Asia, usually it is English and the local language. So as long as the dealers understand the local language, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the general rule in Asia.
But if me and you are in a hand, I can't say what. Like
no
no talking about the hand. Like
no talking about the hand. We're strict. We follow
Right.
all the TD rules and everything.
Right.
So yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
interesting to know. What has been a highlight event for the APT? Is there some moment that stands out? Is it a record-breaking field? Some crazy hand for a main event, or is there anything that stands out as a signature moment so far for you for the APT, whether personally or as a tour?
So I think our relaunch in Taiwan was pretty epic. It exceeded everybody's expectations, and I think my partner Victor actually mentioned. I think based on his statistics, that single series had more buy-ins and prize pool and entries than the whole of 2017 and 18 of the APT tour
Wow.
itself. So that one single stop. So that was kind of a hallmark event, and that's our new benchmark. That's what we strive for this point forward. Yeah, and hopefully we can exceed that in the future as well.